can't come at a SecFed meeting of some sort of
He thinks
board of
that's more
directors.
important. Meet with
Apparently, I
the-
don't know why he's making just kind of choices.
Yeah, we do.
I think we take high priority over his job.
Didn't you know that?
Yeah, I know.
It's wonderful. Had to go back. I think that would get it out of there. I'm going first. Oh, okay. Good morning, how you doing? Oh, okay. I'm not gonna put trade.
You guys want a packet? Here's a newer version.
Oh, okay. So you sent a new version. I didn't spend any time looking
Yeah.
to see what.
It used to have a few things to it, like when you used to get the encyclopedias, all the updates for this. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's like about 800 pages.
What's the estimated time to finish the police department?
We have a year and 3 months to get done. I mean, our internal schedules to have it done by October. Pretty big lead time items. We had to dictate that.
Yeah.
HVAC units out right now for way out on schedule, so. I'm gonna show you something for me.
Yeah. Or they have a nice scripted general transfer. Right. Resolution for 11%. I've always searched for.
Matt, you're kind of lonely over there today.
I know. It's usually what my friend group looks like, but not.
Well, at least you're used to it since. Checks. Okay. Okay.
Coming out to get 4 checks for the one.
Okay. So just give the vendor 4 checks. All right. Well, I think that'll make it actually easier because before I get these funds and stuff, so I can see and that expenses, pending expenses. Here it is, and that check is paid. And so instead of having, I think that'll be easier, quite honestly. Okay, that's cool.
Because that's what happened last week. You put it up. Absolutely nothing that you said. So I had to kind of tried to lip read and figure it out. But a lot of the minutes will say Matt had a discussion. Because I couldn't tell what we were telling.
Matt said something.
Poke the bear.
I've lived in Logansport a long time, it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
I'll save this version. Okay. We'll call this meeting to order. It's 11:04. Administration's asked me to have everybody move their mics down because they record it and they take the minutes from the recording.
Oh.
Now, if you don't know anything, then you can just modern technology. All righty. First thing on the agenda is the minutes from the September 28th meeting. any corrections or changes?
Now, I move approved as presented.
We have a motion to,
That's, you don't have enough for that meeting still,
oh,
Oh.
God.
because you've only got Suzanne was here and Mike was here, but that was it. Paul wasn't here.
Start a spreadsheet, Mike.
That's what we ran into last time.
Never mind.
Nice try, Mike.
It'll be
So,
the same for the next
Now
one.
that Kelly, maybe Kelly can look into this issue. We have this issue where the contention is that we have to have the same people here when the meeting happened to approve the minutes, that we can't have.
So would be said. When I wasn't here, no. Hypothetically, they can watch it on TV.
I guess I figure they can read the minutes and, I don't know.
So one thing that school corporations have done years back is they create consent agenda that lumps in several things. So if, like financials and so forth, so if we wanted to create a consent agenda that, I think that would work, I don't know. Because then some people were involved, some aren't, but yeah, it's just approved in the overall consent agenda. Thought.
Thoughts, Dwayne?
I'll leave it to the legal services to determine that for sure. I don't have it, I don't have an issue with
The
that.
next
I know
one.
that Logan's Landing does that, right? They have a consent agenda.
We have never, school, we have never looked who was and was not there. It's the current group, you have a quorum.
But the county having $7 billion for open door litigation. I think read about county spending $1.1 billion in legal fees fighting about open door, which is kind of what this is about. Approve what happened last. I think what you're asking.
Yeah, I mean, like today will be an example. There's three of us here, so we have to have these exact same three people at the meeting down the road. And so we've had cases we're like 3 months behind trying to get the right combination of people at a meeting of volunteers to.
And the other side of that, that's kind of the reason why we went to the resolutions too, is so that we don't run into that issue, because everything we've done by resolution, once it's signed, we can pay it right away. We don't have to wait until the next meeting. It gets paid as soon as Mike signs the claim.
Okay, well, I guess for now,
Brad Rosie's looked into our side, he said we're good.
That's what John Dam looked at. We just changed the consent
I'm not saying
agenda.
that's- Anyway,
It seems like if the person who like. makes
Yeah, like any of the personnel changes, meeting minutes, financials, all that stuff is wrapped up into one consent agenda that if there's questions, you can pull stuff out of the consent agenda if you want to have discussion on it. But if you just know,
or if somebody needs to stand.
yeah,
Spouse.
conflict of interest or something.
Yeah, we have 7 items.
I'm
Whatever
hoping
you-
there's a common sense way to do it.
Yeah.
well, I think we can kind of let Dwayne think about it, because he's going to face the state board of accounts, not us. So,
Yeah, but as president, you'll get written up for the,
yeah.
for the RDC
I'll get involved
component
in
of
the big
that,
house.
just so you know.
You might spend time with me in the big house when that happens. Okay, well, let's say, so at this point, I guess you might as well just table those two. And I guess now what about the financial? Do we need to, I guess that's new information. Okay, so I make a motion that we table the September 28th meeting approval and the October 5th bid opening meeting approval. Does that mean we can't move forward on,
No, you can still approve your bids.
Yeah.
okay,
You just can't approve the minutes that open them.
You can approve October 5th.
well, we don't,
See, I think there's more danger in trying to keep track of who and where and what for months on end.
I don't disagree. Having
Yeah,
been,
it's more of a risk.
I know, maybe,
Challenge. Approve the minutes and typically minutes are and what was the policy argument,
Right.
and those kinds of things to look back at. So I mean, I think it's getting clarified. I'll talk to Brad, see what he said.
I will,
John, Dan?
I will say that our minutes, the minutes that Dwayne presents are about the most thorough minutes I've ever seen in my entire career. And thus, if a board member got this packet and can attend and they've read that stuff, they could actually let me know, hey, there's a problem in paragraph 3 or whatever. I mean, I say this isn't like some boards like, I don't know, we talked about the car wash and that, you know, I mean, it didn't, you know, this stuff is detailed.
Yeah, if there's an error, it's going to be probably a scrivener's error that's covered by your errors and omissions policy under liability insurance. So, I mean, it's not going to be an intentional.
Yeah. There's gotta be a common sense. Yeah.
Okay,
Everybody here drafted.
yeah. Okay, so Suzanne's made a motion to table the minutes. I'll make a second. Any further discussion on tabling the minutes? All right, all those in favor, signify by a sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Tabling those minutes passes. Whoops.
To think of, like, what happens when you have
Change.
city council next year, they have 7 of them. Let's say 6 of them turn over in January.
That's what I was
You
thinking.
can't have those 7 people come back to December and show up in January.
And approve minutes.
So somehow it's working.
It has to work, yeah, when those people aren't even on the board anymore.
So you can do a bunch of sneak.
Could you say that a little louder, please?
What was it, Greg said last night? Don't-
Yeah.
Don't put that in the.
In the minutes.
Okay, moving on to the financial report. I'll make one comment here. We had a meeting or two behind. We had a payment coming out of the industrial complex, and John Michael said, no, that should be an East End or whatever. And I moved it. Then I realized later it was basically we were going to pay one check from that TIF district. And so it then threw all of our numbers off. So anyway, it's now back, in case anybody sees it, it's now back on Industrial Park for the sewer line for the mall property. And then we have each of the individual items in there that had their own thing, their own allocation of that. Now, we just had something fairly new. We haven't had any of these various multiple district things. We just had kind of an update where originally thought they were going to be pulling funds and electronically. The analysis if you can actually cut checks from each fund. So most likely, this right now is the screen. It shows you quite the mess it is of here's the allocation of all these different pending funds transfers. By going back to a check, we'll actually go back to a little more simpler process where we'll actually just show a pending expense, and it'll show, I'll still put the 15% or whatever share it is, but it'll actually be up in the, we start out with just having, here's the expenses that are actually going through, here's the pending expenses. Then we went to this whole funds transfer thing because we thought we were going to be starting doing, there would not be checks, but it would actually be money moving between the accounts. So, and so it made it a little more confusing for budgets and that kind of purposes. So I'm going to wait a month or so and see if it maybe look first of the year, go back and revise this back to where it was before. And so you basically end up having expenses, and then below that you'll have pending expenses. And instead of having fund transfer stuff, does that make no sense? Okay. Never mind. I'll work it out. You guys just, yeah, that'd be great. Okay. So anyway, that's what, and I say we had one originally when I think we had the Thompson property change. It was hard for me because I did it went through accounts, and it's like I have no record of that. So from having to balance the checkbook, it's kind of nice this way rather than having just a fund transfer and you have to really pay close attention to the Board of Works and say, okay, that was 1/4, that was 15% of this one here, and so
You're just going to write checks every time, basically.
they're just writing. Yeah, that's right. You check each one, and so if you're a vendor, you may get 4 checks from us for a project.
Yep.
They cash the same, so it could put a lot more paper expense for the city, but we'll put them all in the same envelope. They'll get the same postage.
I can go to ACH.
Yeah. That's about all that has changed there, and I say, and when at the time that I actually made that move, you know, John might, I say, oh yeah, he's someplace else. It made us then go negative in the East End when I did that. It's like, oh, that's kind of interesting, you know, and then I realized, oh, wait a minute, those are being supported by 60,000 from this fund and 40,000 from this fund and that kind of thing. So anyway, I think we'll give it a month or so and we'll see if that's how you keep doing it. I think the thing is from a state board of accounts things makes it a lot smoother to say this check goes here, this check goes here, rather than we start electronically moving funds between these things and then trying to explain off a bank statement, which doesn't, you know, it's not always clear where that's going or whatever. So, I mean, I guess you can see it, but anyway. All right. So I'll make a motion. We accept the financial report as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by a sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. The financial report passes. And on the other topic, in like the schools, they'll do the financial report stuff as part of that consent agenda too, so that would all be, if we go in that direction, it would all be lumped in that top section. Okay, next on the agenda is the Race Street additional services. This is just for informational purposes. We already approved it, but we did get the invoice that matched up to what we approved in the resolution. So it is attached to this area. Sorry, I gotta scroll through my pages here. All right, next item on is the nest. We tabled this last month. I'll find it. And time, we had a discussion at that point in time that talked about the nest that said, you know, they like to have larger than the 15% that we'd asked for. We kind of said we'd like to have 15%. Erin has gone back to them, and it looks, she's got a resolution here, which will label as 2022 looks like 333.
I also worked with her to get new estimates because some of her estimates were from last year. So based off the new estimates, the work that she'll have done is $22,548, which 15% of that, which is what is being asked, is $3,382.20.
In your packet, I have updated, I gave you the application and I updated the estimates in there. I left out all the pictures and stuff she had, so if you want those, you can go back and look at last month's stuff. Okay, so, and it looks like they're doing some substantial, they're gonna do some change in painting.
She has wood, so some of her wood needs to be repaired, and painting, and then reglazing her windows.
Yeah,
So this complies with the program then now?
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
I have to say, as a side comment, I mean, Mingland's came last month and asked for some of this stuff. They've got it done already. It's beautiful. So I think that the nice thing is like the MSRP, like in the case of the Nest, sitting next door to all the stuff down at the Gray Mill, it kind of encourages the people to kind of spruce and sparkle as it would be. So I think it's, you know, we didn't get everybody involved in the beginning, but I think now they're being involved in it. We still have this program where they get 15%, so that's kind of nice also. Okay, I will make a motion that we accept Resolution 2022-333 in the amount of $3,382.20, would come from the Downtown Fund. For the exterior improvement programs for the Nest.
Hey, Aaron, before you approve that, she's gonna pay for everything, right? And you're just gonna reimburse her. She's not
Yeah.
gonna have the contractors send anything to us, right?
No, I told both of them that it's a reimbursable. So.
That's fine. I just wanna make sure so that we don't get mixed up somewhere and we get a bill and.
Yeah, and I'll remind her of that
Okay.
too. And Mingland's has already asked me, and I told them, show a receipt that you've paid for the services, and I'll submit it to you guys, and then whatever else you need from her.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
get.
fine.
Okay.
Lien waiver is it, right?
Huh?
Lien waiver is it.
What? Sorry.
The invoice with a lien waiver, I think, is all it had in the
Oh,
program.
is it? Okay.
Yeah, which is common.
Okay.
It's simple.
Yeah, so I can get that from them too if that's needs still. Okay.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by a sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Resolution passes. All right.
And I know you have me down for new business, but I think you still. Okay.
Yeah.
You can go if you want.
No, I have no idea.
Okay, we now move on to new business. We got the downtown housing project. You correctly stated it was for Aaron. It is Bill Cuppy.
We worked with Baker Tilly, and we got a financial analysis ran for what would be the farmer's market lot. Our goal of these financial analysis are to see what tools we have in our toolbox for any potential developers. Our current developer that we're working with, this particular incentive would not involve them. They're not seeking that. We're trying to get some soft incentives for them, which are pre-lease commitments. We're trying to get to a certain percentage of the total units in pre-leases here locally, whether it be with a corporation or a hospital, school systems. So we're working through that, but this analysis is always needed if that isn't the person and we're looking for somebody else. We got to be on the move here and try to figure out what we can offer. So we had Baker Tilly run that, which is a company we always use, and their invoice is $4,550. My request in resolution 2022-332 is to have you guys approve that.
All right.
That's the one, I think, Bill, that needs,
Oh, that's right.
I think you put the line item in there and it needs to be 446. Did you have the line item in there for downtown? Listed as Fund 4, like 411?
It says 409-4-1020-439.000.
That fund number's 4446 now,
Oh, okay.
because of the 4-digit number changeover.
Yeah, I don't know that, so
Yeah.
we need that amendment.
Give you that. So is it just line number 446, or is it just 409s replaced by 446?
It'd be line item 4446-4, I don't remember what the rest of that is.
Okay, -1020
Yeah.
-439.
First number.
Just the first number, that's the actual fund number that's changed.
Okay. Okay. All right, so I will make a motion that we accept resolution 2022-332. It's a resolution of the Redevelopment Commission of the City of Logansport authorizing funds for feasibility analysis for the downtown housing project, also known as the Farmers Market Lot. The amount of money is $4,550. It will come out of the downtown fund. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Is this the first time we've done this?
No, we've done them with the hotel and the mall. We actually end up using it. This one, I'm hoping we don't need it, but it's proactive numbers to understand if we do what we have.
Okay, what I really meant was first time for that area.
Yeah, I don't have any other financial analysis, no.
Okay. No more questions.
All right. All right, all those in favor signify by sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion passes 3-0. Okay, next we start the long trek of Lexington Village. First thing we have is a informational letter. This is a memo was sent to the Indiana Economic Development Commission. And tells them basically what we're doing, how we're doing it. We don't need to vote on it, it's for information purposes only. I think it was provided by the deputy mayor, I think, is where I got that from. It was not me, I didn't have the seal of the logos for it, so. Okay, so that's informational there. Then we have the awarding of the infrastructure, the infrastructure project, and we'll pass off the bill here in a second. You've got in your packet the recommendation from Crossroads as to which contractor they think is best. There's a bid tabulation sheet in there which compares, we had F&K out of Florida and also Dykeman from here in Logansport that bid the project. And was stated on your agenda, it shows what the amounts were, and so that F&K was a low bidder. And then Crossroads did their due diligence on these contractors to make sure that all the I's were dotted, T's were crossed, and that they had provided all the information and they were approved by all the different organizations. In this package, you also have a certificate of insurance from F&K, and a bunch of other stuff. What is this? It shows that certificate of insurance, we have, basically I put a page in there that kind of went through a fellow named Derek Snyder from Crossroads, all the various things that they did, prepared the invoice for bid, and et cetera, and all the check boxes, basically the things they do when they provide these kind of things, so that's in there. Also have an email in there that tells same kind of information, the questions were asked of them and their answers to those. So, that leads us to the awarding of this contract. It has been recommended by Crossroads that we would give the project to F&K Construction Incorporated out of Flora, Indiana, in the amount of $3,366,753.00. I guess that's a motion. Is there a second for that?
I second.
All right. Any discussion about any of this?
Two things I think we need to mention. Of all the stuff you mentioned, there were two pending items. One is the verification of eligibility to work on federally funded projects and the System for Award Management, which is SAM. It's kind of a newer thing. F&K has to be registered and all of their subs. So initially we were told they had to be registered before you guys could vote. F&K has, two of their subs have. There's one that is still pending, but we have verification from Stephen Ray's office that we can move forward. And I've got that email too. They would just like that your approval is contingent upon F&K submitting that verification once it happens. The other pending thing was that we as a city need to review the certificate of insurance. I do have a letter from Mr. Lehman that he was provided that. It's acceptable. He concurs with Derek Snyder's recommendation that the insurance requirement meet or exceeds our insurance coverages. They have an umbrella of, F&K has an umbrella of 5 million, or excuse me, 9 million. Our requirements are 5 million, so they by far exceed. So those two items have been checked, and I think you guys can move forward with the vote.
And I forgot, I do have Kelly's, I have Lehman office's, law office's letter in there, and I also have the email that he mentioned that with the stuff we had, so that is in this packet also.
We do want that 9 million umbrella after talking to our insurance agent, and that there wasn't any discussion with them ahead of time about that.
Yeah.
This is to the 10 million on several categories.
Jeez. All right, so I guess I will make a motion that we accept F&K Construction Incorporated from Flora, Indiana, to be the provider of all the infrastructure for Lexington Village in the amount of $3,366,753. Is there a second?
I already seconded.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've lost my mind. Okay, so we're in the discussion phase. Okay, I think I should resign.
No.
Anybody want to take over? Okay, so all those in favor signify by a sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion passes 3-0 to accept F&K Construction as our provider. Okay, and then next we have a civil engineering fee from Crossroads. And that is, looks like resolution 2022-331.
Yeah, on this, we discussed it at the special meeting that when Crossroads was here, you guys have, in the minutes, approved 5,000 for this piece of the RFP, but it's become a lot bigger deal than anybody would have thought. Their contract they have in here, that they need to increase that to 7,500. The reason the resolution's for 8,000, there's some ancillary things in that contract, if you read it, public notices and advertisement fees and mailing fees. So instead of coming back every time there's $32 or $40, we would just like to do the not to exceed $8,000, which is in the resolution.
All right. I will make a motion that we accept resolution 2022-331, resolution by the Redevelopment Commission of the City of Logansport, Indiana, authorizing funds to provide professional civil engineering services associated with Lexington Village subdivision and located in the southwest corner of High Street and Yorktown Road in Logansport, Indiana, in the amount of $8,000. And would come out of the East End Fund, correct? Is that what that number, is that number wrong too?
Yeah, it should be. I think that one's supposed to be 4447, I believe.
So instead of 411-4, it's 44.
4447, I think, is what that one is.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, is there a second?
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All right, all those in favor, signify by a sign of aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. The resolution passes.
Real quick, Mike, on the Lexington Village, before you wrap up Lexington Village. As you know, you had no bidders to purchase the land out there, which gave us the clear from Bose McKinney to discuss it with any developer we want now without certain public notices and such. We have interviewed, we've been in discussions with one developer, me, Aaron, Mike, and John Michael. We kind of started with there and see where it goes. Things are progressing, and now that we have F&K, we're able to connect them, and they can talk soil and this, whatever they talk about. So, because they had questions that we didn't know, but we know F&K will. So now we can connect the two and go from there. So it's progressing nicely. We've seen some renderings, and we hope to have a product we can bring forward soon.
F&K was a provider for the school corporation for the new school, and they had some compacting issues as to what you build on top of. And so the contractor we've been talking to was worried, start digging, they start re-leveling the surface, and then all of a sudden you do the original 3 foot of depth you need to have in Indiana for putting in foundations and stuff like that. You might disturb that by that. So they can now get together and say, okay, what's your plan as to what you're going to do with this soil and whether we have problems because it's not going to be compacted or whatever. So they seem like they got their act together. Okay, so that moves us on to invoice for Race Street. And this is really informational. We already approved $17,500, and to date they have a new invoice for $700, and the total billing so far have been $14,169.60. So this is just a continuation of that project with continued invoices as part of that. So it really is just for your information purposes, and so there's still some work to be done. Excuse me. Finally, we have the, I sent an email out to all you guys, and you guys were seem to be supportive of this. When they did the asphalt paving at the mall area in the, down at the stoplight there down towards Revolution, there were some, what they call vehicle detecting loops in the paving. And when they tore that out, apparently they had warned us in advance in their bid that they could tear those out. And this is what tells the stoplights how much time, someone's here, so I gotta let that person come through. So those were damaged. And let's say we sent an email out to everybody. It was kind of a question of who needs to pay for these. Always come back to Big Daddy, you know. So we're just the easiest to get along with.
I do have a question about more of the fund for that. When is the actual fund getting created for that area? I mean, will disbursements come this fall for both the hotel and for the mall property, or will that be next spring? Because we get to keep 25%, right?
I would bet you will receive new funding, not existing funding, like the old mall. I would imagine that at least Planet Fitness would be at least.
I would think.
Nothing else, I would doubt. So it wouldn't be large amounts, but I would imagine we would start seeing, I can check it, see if they reassessed it at all yet.
'Cause obviously, this will probably have to come out of East End, but I'm just curious when we'll be able to start taking improvements for that area out of that area.
Yeah, I think your big one will be next year when the hotel has been fully reassessed and theirs goes up to $110,000 annual. It was at $200
Yeah.
next year, but this year I don't think there'll be a lot. There should be some. Probably not enough.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It'll be interesting to see how they appraise. I mean, we get the incremental difference between the previous value and now. You tear half a mall down. I don't know if you go back to farmland for a few minutes and then you start building again, or whether you, I don't know how that works.
Should just be the new reassessed, and, I mean, value to value, not necessarily square
Okay.
footage, so.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, if it was, I think it was only getting like 20,000, 30,000 a year of the whole property. How was that, how much it was? Yeah.
I know a number of years back,
That's not a lot.
Well, that's 58, but that also included the dollar store and all that, right? That's
Yeah,
the whole
Dollar
thing.
Tree and the mall, the old mall was about 58 to 60,000. Projections are 260 total once completed. So it'll ramp up gradually as things get added to it.
yeah. I think the value once, well, I guess they're gonna, rehab each of those spaces for the tenants' needs. But the building's there, the roof's there, you know, okay. All right, so, I will make a motion that we accept, this invoice. We do not have a resolution for it yet. This will allow them to get that going, especially with Culver's across the street. This thing's affecting the stoplight that people going to Culver's. Welcome to the neighborhood.
I have received several calls about this. I'm sure the mayor's office has too. People are even telling me the timings. It's like 14 seconds if you're heading east or west. It's like 26 seconds if you're heading north or south. And people are kind of getting upset. I know it's nobody's fault, but so hopefully this can move forward and get fixed. Because it is starting to get a little backed up on 24.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I drive that way to work every day.
Can't cut us so close, Bob.
We want to publicly thank Bill for his community relations in this project.
Hey, Jacob.
He's done such a good job. Keep up the good work.
Whoever else gets these calls.
Thank God no one knows our phone numbers.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so, anyway, this is just basically this is their quotation for the invoice. We all kind of discussed it before, so I don't know, I'm not sure where we're at on, have we notified these guys, or, I mean, we knew we were gonna pass it, but we didn't know if they'd, are you gonna take care of this? Yeah. Okay, all right. Okay, okay. So I'll make a motion to accept the invoice, in the amount of $5,990 for Michiana Contracting to replace the 4 standard vehicle detection loops and 1 detector housing. Is there a second?
I second that.
All right, any further discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by a sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 3-1. Comes out of the East End Fund. All right, I guess it's Bill and Aaron, you guys got anything new and improved? Gosh,
Just a side note, it has not been reassessed yet. Actually, when it was demoed, it went up $250,000. Nice. Well,
who needs parking lots? You just have that rubble and stuff. All right. Who would have figured? Yeah, all right. What a system. All right, any public comments? Anybody? No? Any board member comments? No? We're the quietest board on record. Our next, something to note, next month, our meeting will be on November 16th at 11 o'clock, because the following week is Thanksgiving, the day after. And our past experiences, and we all think we're going to be here, but we aren't going to be here when that comes, that time. So, yeah, and then we'll have to figure out who in the world. And hopefully to get more people for the minutes, we will do that. Okay, I think that's all we have. I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you, folks. I forgot all my signatures.
Pardon me?
We won't tell on you.
That's fine.
No.